Behind the golden domes of Doha, beyond the glass towers and desert palaces, lives a royal ghost, a man whose name barely reaches the press, yet whose power rivals entire oil empires. He doesn't rule with speeches or titles, he rules with silence. This is the story of Qatar's most elusive billionaire prince, a shadow architect behind multi-billion-dollar funds, biometric surveillance networks, and the real estate engines driving London, Paris, and Manhattan. No interviews, no photos, no public trail, but today, we lift the veil. The Phantom Prince. While the world knows Emir Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, it's his half-brother, born of a different mother, who moves without being seen. Insiders call him the Invisible Emir. His real name rarely appears in Western media, but within Gulf financial networks, his signature carries more weight than many heads of state. He was educated in Switzerland, fluent in 4 languages, and trained in both classical diplomacy and elite intelligence tradecraft. From a young age, he was shielded from press attention, not by accident, by design. The family wanted him invisible, to be the quiet weapon, the financial phantom, the man whose power could never be traced, only felt. What makes him even more formidable is his ability to blend roles. One week, he's advising a sovereign fund in Berlin under a false corporate alias. The next, he's negotiating with former heads of MI6 at a private villa in Marrakesh. No fingerprints, just outcomes. His travel is encrypted. His entourage rotates monthly. The few who have met him describe a man who speaks rarely, yet listens with unnerving precision. He does not own social media, has never appeared in a public speech, and avoids even elite press events. In a world where power increasingly thrives on visibility, he chose the opposite, to weaponize anonymity. And that choice has made him one of the most quietly feared men in the Gulf. Building the invisible empire. The invisible emir's power doesn't come from thrones or television cameras. It comes from holding the pen that signs billion-dollar transfers. Through a web of offshore vehicles, trusts in the Caymans, and sovereign wealth funds nested within other funds, he controls over $12 billion in assets spread across 5 continents. One London source revealed he owns 3 entire skyscrapers in Canary Wharf, but under the name of a holding company owned by a different Qatari fund. In New York, he's linked to a $500 million real estate swap deal, yet no documents bear his name. In France, a vineyard near Bordeaux is rumored to be his personal retreat, guarded by ex-DGSE agents and monitored by aerial drones. Every move is covered in layers. His lawyers are instructed to erase not only names but intent. But his reach goes far beyond luxury property. He's the silent majority shareholder behind an aerospace logistics firm that operates across Europe and the Gulf. Through a web of equity swaps and blind trusts, he holds minority stakes in at least 6 major energy infrastructure projects in Asia. Each deal is filtered through a cascade of shell entities, making forensic audits nearly impossible. His influence in the tech sector is perhaps even more startling. A Berlin-based quantum computing firm, valued at over $800 million, received undisclosed funding from a Qatari innovation accelerator, an entity ultimately tied to the prince. Insiders say he's also funneled capital into climate startups, not for profit but for data access. He plays long-term games. He doesn't just buy into industries, he embeds himself in their futures. Power for him is not in headlines or IPOS. It's in knowing the leverage points of tomorrow's systems before anyone else sees them coming. The surveillance nexus. But wealth is just one pillar of the invisible emir's empire. The other is control. Since 2018, Qatar has quietly built one of the most advanced surveillance systems in the region. While many credit the Ministry of Interior, insiders claim the strategy and architecture were designed by the invisible emir himself. Biometric tracking, smart CCTV grids, and predictive AI models now line the streets of Doha, but these same technologies are being exported. Through joint ventures with Western tech firms, he's managed to embed Qatari surveillance tech into African, Asian, and even Eastern European cities under the guise of smart urbanism. A French whistleblower described a biometric analytics lab in Lyon, fully funded by a Qatari NGO which, upon investigation, traced back to a single signature, the prince's. What makes his surveillance ecosystem so powerful is its modularity. Each layer is self-contained but capable of interlocking into larger networks when needed. Facial recognition isn't just about identifying people, it's about tracking behavioral anomalies over time. His systems don't just monitor, they anticipate. In Qatar's education sector, an AI-driven attendance and behavior monitoring tool is now embedded in top private academies. Parents are told it's for safety, but the data, stored in servers linked to a strategic research zone on the city's outskirts, is also being modeled for long-term psychometric profiling. Several of the region's smart stadiums, introduced during the World Cup, quietly retained their surveillance architecture post-event. Sources say these stadiums now serve as urban test beds for mass behavioral control, integrating crowd sentiment detection and drone-based response modeling. Even more chilling is the fact that his teams are working on predictive defection models, algorithms designed to detect early signs of disloyalty among political and financial allies based on digital footprint shifts. Control isn't about locking doors, it's about knowing which doors might open and who might walk through them. His inner sanctum. Unlike most Gulf royals who display wealth through fleets of Bugattis and gold-plated palaces, the invisible Emir's world is designed to disappear. He lives in a compound on the edge of the desert, a structure with no aerial footprint, built partially underground. Visitors surrender all electronics upon entry. Inside, ex-Mossad security personnel vet every guest through facial and gait recognition. No staff member works longer than 6 months. Even the marble is custom cut to disrupt thermal imaging. The perimeter is protected by an active anti-drone field, and the land surrounding the property is owned under separate LLCs, all registered in different jurisdictions. Satellite images show nothing but sand, yet the underground floors are rumored to span the length of 5 football fields, complete with war rooms, biometric vaults, and a full-scale server farm cooled by proprietary tech. The architecture was overseen by a Swiss firm specializing in nuclear bunkers. Insiders claim parts of the complex were built to withstand EMP attacks and satellite-targeted strikes. The Citadel, as it is called, runs on independent solar grids and deep aquifer systems, ensuring it can survive for months off-grid. The art collection inside rivals national museums, ancient manuscripts, Ottoman daggers, encrypted tablets gifted by tech CEOs. Each object either protects information or stores it. Nothing is decorative. Every item has purpose. One guest recalled stepping into a vaulted room with 12 screens, displaying live feeds from 27 cities. He doesn't watch the world, they said. He maps it. The cost of invisibility. But power in the shadows always comes with a price. In 2022, a Qatari diplomat was found dead in Geneva, cause of death unknown. Weeks earlier, he had been investigating a set of sovereign deals involving Eastern European infrastructure with suspected links to the prince. In 2023, a cybersecurity firm in Singapore was quietly acquired and dismantled hours after it published a report tracing anomalous surveillance signals to Doha. And yet, no accusations ever stick, no trails ever reach him, just whispers, just rumors, just fear. There are also stories of journalists who got too close. A Norwegian documentary crew had their equipment seized and visas revoked just hours after landing in Doha, after filing a Freedom of Information request tied to Gulf telecom contracts. Another whistleblower, a Belgian systems analyst, was last seen boarding a flight to Oman. He never arrived. Western intelligence agencies, while aware of the prince's movements, remain silent. Some say he provides them with data. Others believe he trades silence for immunity. Either way, his operations continue, unchallenged, undisturbed. His world thrives on plausible deniability. Nothing confirmed, yet everything felt. The cost of invisibility isn't only isolation. It's knowing that every step forward must erase the step behind. So why hide? Why erase every trace? Because true power is not in being seen, it's in being unavoidable. In every deal, every sensor, every corridor of silent influence, the invisible Emir is there, watching, calculating, controlling. He doesn't need a throne. He built the system the throne now depends on. Would you choose this kind of power if it meant total isolation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. One reply will win a mystery luxury gift.